Minion was added into Skyblock since June 11, 2019. We all use them, but what are they? Most people say that they are slave or robot, but no one truly knows. So what if I tell you that I might just have the answer? After observing and research about the minion, I found a lot of information that proved clue to what minions truly are, and come up with 3 general basic conditions that need to be met, which will help to eliminate a lot of theory. 1. Minion is not an organic creature. This is evidenced by the fact that minions do not need any kind of food, oxygen, or water to function. However, fuel can be used to enhance the minion performance. Minions also do not take damage and cannot die. 2. Minions have feeling and intellect. This is proven through several dialogue of the minion, for example,
"What if those stars are other skyblocks?
Wow, that's deep.
We live in a simulation."
Calm down, Neo.
and
That's a cute rabbit. Come see me, little rabbit.
these lines show that each minion have ability to think and capable of feeling. However, minion also is smart enough to access the internet, evidenced by the dialogue when talking to YouTuber and about the latest song and movie, like
I always watched your videos.
and
Did you see that new superhero movie? No, I was working, haha.
Same.
3. Each minion are unique depending on its material. If you have made minion before, this condition must have no need for explanation, as minions produce different items depending on what was used to craft them. However, this doesn't mean that if anything meet the 3 conditions, you can say that those are what minion is. There are a lot more, but these 3 alone will eliminate a lot of choices. So, with the 3 basic rules, let's see what the forum think about the minion. Since most people only care about dungeon lore and not a lot talk about minion lore, I was only able to find a few posts about this topic, but they still have interesting point and view. Here are one of the examples.
The hypothesis of minions being machines or robots is a plausible theory. After all, you create them with inorganic or non-sentient matter, and suddenly it starts talking and working for you. The fuels are a very good source of evidence for this theory. You can power them with coal, solar panels, enchanted lava buckets, and enchanted bread. How would a machine turn starches into energy without organic components? Taking this into account, maybe the minions are alive? Then their use of carbon and heat-based fuel sources are of no use, since ingesting coal and lava usually isn't good for you. So what are minions? Are they superpowered creatures able to ingest lava and coal to turn into energy, some kind of revolutionary technology able to turn bread into power, or maybe cyborgs that can use both?
This post suggests that minion could be robot, superpowered creature, or cyborg. Another post from the same user also say that
by crafting minions, you have essentially created life? Out of nothing but some basic materials and a wooden tool, you have created a living, breathing person who now devotes their life to gathering resources for you. Would these then be considered slaves doing work, or more of children doing chores? If minions were told about their circumstances and given the opportunity to leave, would they? After all, their entire life has revolved around work, and they don't seem to complain. So would minions revolt if given the tools and infrastructure required? Lots of questions, yet zero answers. Maybe Hypixel should give us some minion lore.
this post may not suggest any more possibility on what minion is, but it sure give a few questions that could be answered. There is also a reply that suggests that minions are a automata. Never mind, you can pronounce however you like.
Automata.
So, let's use our basic ground rule to eliminate some of these choices. Starting off with that minion is a robot, which is not really possible since minions have feeling and intellect. And of course, an argument could be made that they have an advanced AI system that could replicate emotion and able to think for themselves. However, I don't think that those advanced AI system is carved out of cobblestone and a few pieces of wood. The next contender is minion, a superpowered creature. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, creature is defined as something crafted either animate or inanimate. This means that in this definition, the minion could be a living thing or could also be a non-living thing. Since my 3 conditions cannot disprove this theory straight away, this theory gets moved on to the second filter layer. The next contender is minion is a cyborg. Cyborg is defined as a fictional or hypothetical person whose physical ability are extended beyond normal human limitation by mechanical element built into the body. This would suggest that minions are humans that have been modified with machine. So, since a cyborg is still a living person, it is still partly an organic creature, so this is not possible. The last contender is that minion is
Automata.
a moving mechanical device made in imitation of human being, which basically is a robot. So, no. So, this left us with the only contender from the forum. Minion is a superpowered creature. This is so vague it could say that Minion is a original Superman. So, this should be a good time to review my own theory on what Minion are. Minion is a form of golem. Before you all left the video and screamed with the comment, hear me out. The legend of Golem was dated as far as 1837 and has been written and retold thousands of times. With each time, a little different was added, whether it was about the purpose of the golem building or how golem are made. If we research the legend of this creature, you will start to see a lot of similarity between golem and minion. Let me point out a few of them. Under the rarest of circumstances, a human being may imbue a lifeless matter with that intangible, but essential spark of life, the soul. To put this in layman terms, this essentially says that golem are at first a lifeless statue that humans managed to make it alive by putting a soul into it. This would explain our second condition that minions have feeling and intellect. The quality of golem often rarely depends on what they are composed of. This would check off the third condition, since all minions have different ability, like spawning different blocks and creating different creatures, depending on the material used to craft it. Most golems have some ability in common. Almost all do not have to eat, sleep, or breathe. This will explain why minion doesn't have to eat or sleep and can work 24/7. However, people argue that how about enchanted bread or tasty cheese? But just because this item can be given to the minion doesn't mean that they need it to function, as this minion would still work 24/7 without any fuel added. Golem would come to life and serve his creator by doing tasks assigned to him. This is literally a summary of what a minion is. It comes to life and start farming for the player. The golem has a variety of power according to different legends. Invisibility, a heat touch, and the ability to summon spirit of the dead. This one is interesting, as it explains how minions are able to summon undead monster and a living creature. There are more that I could quote, but to keep this video short, I will only give two more. A golem will not age or die from natural means. This explains why minion doesn't take damage and do not age. Physical appearance is largely determined by the material that they are made of. However, they often possess a humanoid form. This explains why each minion have different appearance and resemble a human. There is something that most theories point out as an evidence, which is fuel. There are a lot of debate on how minions can use heat-based fuel and food to increase their speed. So, my answer to those questions for the Golem Daily is magic. Now, let me convince you. First of all, fuel in Hypixel Skyblock, despite have a name identical to the thing in the real world, do not work the same. A good example is the catalyst. In the real world, it's supposed to use to speed up chemical reaction and remain unchanged at the end of the reaction. If you are confused on what I just said, you probably already forgot your high school chemistry teacher. But what's important is that in the real world, catalyst doesn't just disappear like in the game after a few hours. And in the game, catalysts do not actually speed up your minion, but instead multiply the minion drop, which means that the real-world catalyst is not the same as the Skyblock catalyst. The in-game catalyst would work more like a magical item. So, how about coal and lava? These are stuff that real-world people use to run the machine. To address this, we need to look at the crafting recipe. 50% of the minion fuel use coal in the crafting recipe. But what if I tell you that it's not an ordinary coal? Since coal in Skyblock is used to brew haste potion, it means that coal in Skyblock actually have ability to speed up the consumer. So, what if a magical creature golem consume coal to speed them up? That would not be too much to assume. Plus, why do you think that enchanted lava bucket is crafted with coal and not with lava? Because of the coal magical ability, so minion doesn't actually use heat-based power source, but more like a magical power source. So, since the minion use magical power as energy drink, this would explain how they could use things like floating crystal and foul flesh to speed up. So I left with 4 more foil, 2 of them categorized as food, tasty cheese, and enchanted bread. The first one to immediately get debunked is tasty cheese, as it doesn't actually speed up minion but multiply the minion drop, so we can put this cheese with the catalyst. So how about the bread? Enchanted bread actually fall into the coal category. Why? Because wheat is used to craft Harvesting 5 enchanted book, a literal magical book that can multiply the amount of cloth you get when applied on a hole, which means that wheat is a form of magical item in the Hypixel Skyblock universe. Same goes for the solar panel craft with enchanted quartz, and you know it. Enchant is defined as put someone or something under a spell. Yes, a spell. Magic spell. So I only left with one last foil, hamster wheel. Since it is a rare drop from the Swen Packmaster, it should be able to assume that it is not an ordinary hamster wheel, Plus, no one actually knows whether there's actually a hamster inside. It could just be that there is nothing in there. It's a magical item, dropped by a magical creature that is summoned by sacrificing hundreds of wolves. So, if you watch this video to the end, you must have two things in mind. That I just cracked the mystery of the minion, and you are on my side. So please try to push this video so that the admin can confirm how right we are. Or, you might think that I am going crazy from lack of human intellection because I only play Stranded. So, if you have anything to support my theory, or have something to disprove my theory, comment it down below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Wait, didn't like all of the golden legend and with the golden becoming out of control and destroy everything? Oh no.